Coming from where I come from and having family, but you don't have family, especially around holiday times, it's a hard pill to swallow. Family, trust, love. My mom could never use that word. I don't even think she could. She would spell it for you back then. She was never shown that, and the way they was raised, it was rough. I was born here in Chicago. My mom and dad had 7 children total. Out of the 7 children, she raised everybody but me. I was told that I was placed on top of the dumpster. The guy that kept the building saw me there, took me to my grandmother, and from there on, she raised me till I was 18. When I was growing up, I felt like an outcast. My grandmother would give me a hug, she would kiss me, but it's not the same love for coming from a parent. When my grandmother passed, I was 18. I didn't go home to my mom. I went to my godmother's house, which was 2 rows down from my mom. I went to college. I went to SIU in Carbondale. I needed money. So I made a decision to decide to take narcotics back to the school campus and got in trouble. Was kicked out of school. And when I came home, it was a big change. I started to work, but I got laid off because I had lied on my application that I'd never been arrested. Told myself I can't go back to the streets and sell drugs. I need to do something different. So I did income tax services for 3 years. Got sick, and when I went to the doctor, they told me I was pregnant. And that was a big shock, because I didn't believe it. As time went on, and I just got overjoyed. She was born 12 pounds, 4 ounces. And things were going good, and all of a sudden the paycheck stopped coming in. So we got behind 8 paychecks. I could no longer afford to pay the rent. So I just took my daughter and I went to 10 South Kids and asked them to place me in a shelter. And that place was Good News Partners. Many people that's homeless have a big issue with trust because where they come from or how they was raised. And when I first got there, I had issues with trust. And I was talking to the case manager, which was Miss Hill at the time. And she was asking me questions about my family history, and her mom was never the mother to them. She was telling me that my mom couldn't give me something she never did have. And I'm asking her, what was that? And she was saying the one word, love. A love from a parent is totally different from any other love. That feeling that I felt when Miss Hill hugged me at New Life, like my heart was just crying out. That right there, the warmth from the heart, the hug, made me feel a part, and that was genuine. It's like the blessings just started flowing. I started going to the Bible study every other Thursday. I went to the classes, the parenting classes, the budgeting classes, life skills. And one of the ladies approached me and asked me, did I have an income? And I told her no. And she said, it's okay, but when you get one, you can start paying rent. She told me to open my hand, and she placed a set of keys to an apartment in the middle of my hand. And from that day forth, I was no longer homeless. I moved in the Phoenix Co-op, and I paid my rent for a whole full year. And after that year, I was able to buy into the co-op. And I became a co-op member. And with that money that I accumulated in the equity, I'm able to buy my first home for me and my daughters. I know who I am inside, but for years I wore that facade that I was I was trying to hide that because of how I was raised. As that years went on and I matured and got the love that I was longing for, my shell was softening. Not even thinking that God loved me enough to bless me the way he's been blessing me. I know it's his grace and mercy that I'm here to help the next person that's going through what I went through. I broke that cycle with my daughter. We talk and I tell her I love her every time. And I'm able to tell other people that I love them as well too. And I genuinely mean it. The nurturing that I never got as a kid, I didn't know how to give it to her until I became homeless and went to a shelter at New Life Shelter. I was taught how to nurture, cuddle with her, read her bedtime stories, tickle her, make her laugh. My role as assistant program director at Good News Partners Shelter for homeless families. We all came through the same thing. Don't think that because we're sitting behind a desk that you're not important, because you are. I would never want a person to feel the way I felt growing up, especially the children that we come in contact with. I want them to feel a part of family, trust, let them know that they are loved. So, yeah.